this video, I'll share with you the top 3 deadly mistakes tenured agents make during interviews. And of course, I'll also share with you tips on how to avoid them like a pro. And if you are a tenured call center agent with years of experience already, but is still struggling to pass your interview, I would like to let you know that you're not alone. Many experienced agents fail not because they're not qualified for the job, but because they fall into traps they don't realize just yet. So I hope that with the help of this video, you get to realize it so you can stand out in your upcoming interviews. Let's dive in. Let's start with mistake number 1. You're being overconfident without much substance.
Okay, this is the scenario for this kind of situation, no? So let's say, ma'am, I've been in the industry for 5 years already. I know the job by heart. But when you're asked by the interviewer about the metrics, the tools that you're using, or how you handle escalations, you go blank. So this is a problem because interviewers need a specific proof that you still have the skills, the mindset, and the drive, especially if it's been a while since you last had the job. So to better handle this, you can do this instead. Number 1 is to back every statement with a story or result by using the STAR method. Example, with 6 years of experience in the industry, I've learned how to de-escalate tough situations. For example, I once handled a billing dispute where the customer was threatening to cancel. I calmly walked him through the charges and offered a goodwill credit which helped retain the account. So why does this kind of situation or sample works? Because it shows not just experience but what you've actually done with that experience. Second is don't assume experience is equals to skill. This kind of mindset works because it shows growth mindset and humility, which recruiters love. Therefore, it's best for you to remain humble despite your experience and still be coachable and trainable at the same time. Now, number 3 thing that you can do, or should I say tip that you can do, is to acknowledge that you're still learning. This is almost similar to point number 2. It makes you sound humble, self-aware, and open to coaching instead of being cocky, boastful, or rigid. Thing that you can do is to avoid buzzwords without context. Like for example, I'm a team player and a problem solver, pero hindi mo elaborate yung reason why. So you need to elaborate everything. This works because you're showing that your skills translate into real actions and outcomes. And number 5 is to prepare and practice answer with a focus on STAR method. So if you don't know just yet, STAR stands for situation, T for task, A for action, and R for resolution.
Alright, let's proceed to mistake number 2. You're using generic or recycled interview answers. Let me provide a common scenario to this kind of mistake.
I'm a team player. I have good communication skills. I work well under pressure. These are cliche answers that don't set you apart. Interviewers hear this from almost every applicant. So even if it's true to you, it lacks impact and personalization. Therefore, you always need to tie soft skills to a story and a result. So I'm gonna share with you at least 5 things that you can do instead. So number 1 is to personalize your strength. Therefore, I highly recommend for you not to copy what's on Google or job forums. Kasi sa Google, diba, we can easily see sample answers to specific questions without really checking if it aligns with our strengths. If it does align with our strengths, sure, you can gain some perspective from that or at least some ideas, but don't copy the entirety of that, information. Next is use the STAR method to structure your stories. It's best to use this kind of strategy because it will allow you to provide a situation, the things that you did, the outcome, especially as well as the actions that you took. And the number three is to match your answer to the role you're applying for. Of course, we don't want a mismatch. Therefore, whenever you're answering questions, it should be aligned to the job that you're about to do. So, examples as well that you need to provide is also similar to what you're going to do once you get hired. And number four, or the last thing that I mentioned, is to ditch the buzzwords, be specific. So the scenario that I gave earlier are merely buzzwords. So you need to be specific by providing specific samples, no, talaga ng stories mo, paano mo siya na-resolve, ano nangyari. And again, it all boils down to you using the STAR method. And lastly, practice, don't memorize. It's better for you to have better understanding of what's the actual question rather than memorizing it, kasi it's hard to memorize, especially kapag may binagong tanong doon, hindi mo na alam agad yung kasunod or yung isasagot mo. Now, the third mistake that you probably did na is you're bringing baggage from your previous company. So, please stop doing that if you ever did experience this. So, for example, my last TL was toxic, our workload was too heavy, I didn't feel appreciated. Although this can be true, pero even before pa talaga, I always tell my audience not to badmouth our company. So, yun nga yung tip number one, never badmouth your previous employer. Instead of saying my TL was toxic, you can say, I appreciated the experiences I had in my previous company, but I'm now looking for a work environment that aligns with my long-term goals. Okay, this works because it shows maturity, professionalism, and also your emotional control. Number two is to focus on what you gained, not what you lost. So instead of highlighting what went wrong, you need to focus on what you learned instead. For example, I was challenged with high call volumes, but I learned how to manage my time more efficiently and developed a better system for multitasking. So this works because it reframes the experience in a positive, growth-focused light. And number three is prepare neutral explanations for why you left. So avoid sounding bitter. Prepare a short, honest, but neutral reason for leaving. You can say, I wanted to explore new challenges outside my previous account, or I'm looking for growth opportunities that weren't available in my former role, or I'm seeking a company where I can contribute my skills to a different type of customer interaction. So this works because it keeps the conversation forward looking. And number four is to avoid playing the victim card. Interviewers will wonder if the problem was you, if all you talk about are bad situations or people. So instead of saying they didn't support me, you can say, I realized I needed a work culture that emphasizes coaching and development, which is something I'm passionate about. So this works because you can come across as self-aware and solution-focused, not dramatic or resentful. And lastly, highlight what you're looking for, not what you escaped from. So keep the conversation centered on your future, not your frustration. This works because it shows optimism, ambition, and alignment with the new company. So an example to this you can say is, I'm excited about this opportunity because I admire how your company values customer satisfaction and employee growth. That's the kind of environment where I see myself thriving. As a call center agent or someone who's working from home, I know for a fact that you will be needing a headset, and I highly recommend Jabra Evolve 20 MS USB-A because that's what I'm using currently, and it's really perfect for those people that has noisy environments. For example, your dogs are barking, your neighbors are loud, the TV is so loud, your electric fan is noisy. This kind of headset is really perfect because this has a noise cancelling feature. So despite the noisy environment that you're in, your customer on the other line wouldn't be able to hear you. This is based on personal experience. And this also lasts for years, so this definitely is a must try. Make sure to check it out. Link of this is in the video itself. Make sure to check it out. Until next time, bye.